Hello and welcome to another Battlefield 6 weapons guide. In today's guide, we'll be talking about none other than the Spear, or otherwise known as the M277 in Battlefield 6. This gun is more than anything a gun that might come off feeling kind of awkward at first, but I do think it has a lot of potential if you kind of run it a certain way and run it with certain attachments that kind of make it feel more or less like a carbine and more kind of like a DMR. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Remember, as always, the build will be in the description. So the first thing we're going to talk about, of course, is the barrel attachments. I think that the single port brake and double port brake are probably going to be what you're looking for if you want to go loud. But me personally, I am a suppressor slave, so I usually will just go the suppressor that you start off with, as I do like the idea of not being seen on the map. But if you want to go loud, the single port compensator and the double port will suffice. When we talk about the barrel, I like the heavy extended because it gives us more accuracy and kind of gives it so we have a little bit of extra projectile velocity as well. Talking about the underbarrel, of course, we're going to go the ribbed vertical because why not? Or the alloy vertical if you kind of want the other aspects of it. But I do think the ribbed vertical is the best. The 20 round magazine, of course, is what you're going to start with, and this is probably the only downside to the weapon. So, of course, you're going to keep that until you unlock the 25 and the 30. When we talk about the ammo, like I said, we're not going to change anything. And as usual, we are going to put a laser on top to make our hip fire easier. When we actually talk about the scope, I will admit that the starting scope for this gun is pretty amazing. But if you want to opt out for something that doesn't take up as much of your points for equipping stuff, you can of course go with a 1.5 or a 2 times, as this gun really does function as a pretty decent DMR and is what is honestly going to be the focus of my build. And honestly, that's the best way I think you can run it. So when we actually talk about the gun itself in action, I do think this gun is best used as a DMR. The thing with assault rifles and carbines is when you tap your triggers or you tap your mouse button, you're going to fire 2 shots. So the best way to use this gun more than anything is we're just going to be tapping our triggers and our mouses in an attempt to kind of conserve that ammo that we have, which, let's be honest, 20 rounds for most of these guns is not a lot, and it is no different for the Spear. But the thing about this gun is it hits extremely hard, or at least it feels like it does. And I do think it is best used when we are tapping for a long range, as it does serve the purpose of a DMR. And if you're close, you can of course go full auto, as you will mostly win fights if you aim for the chest. I think it takes about 4 bullets to kill in the chest. The whole emphasis of this gun, honestly, is that you are more or less running a carbine that feels like a DMR. And with the added bonus of having that scope on right off the rip, you can honestly just put a foregrip on it as soon as you unlock it and just run it like I am right now with the default scope, the suppressor, and everything else. All you need is a little bit of recoil control, and this gun really does shine from mid-range to even a little bit of long range if you are doing the tapping like I told you to. But like I said, this gun is kind of strange. I know a lot of people that I've talked to have said that this gun feels kind of weak in a way. But I do think if you run it as more of a DMR setup as opposed to a full auto gun all the time, you will be killing a ton of people. And I have a couple clips to show y'all that kind of emphasize that point, that maybe we shouldn't always be going full auto when it's more than like 15 to 20 meters. But as always, that is all I have for today. I'm not going to waste y'all's time blabbing. You can stay and watch the clips if you like. There are quite a few impressive ones in here, I will admit, and you can kind of see the true power of this gun from a kind of mid-range, close-range perspective, and some pretty far-range stuff as well. As always, I hope you all have a good rest of your day, a good rest of your month, and a good rest of your year, and I will see you on the next video. We will be covering a couple more guns in the next couple of days, so make sure to subscribe and like if you want to see more vids, and stick around if you want to be part of the show. As always, I will see y'all on the next video. Dude,
There's like 4 of them on me right here.
Is there? pretty scared right now. Running into fucking stuff like killing people. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my god! Oh my god.